I just wanted to take a few minutes and go over what the criteria was and why I decided to purchase the property that I purchased in Kentucky. So a lot of people that I've been, new subscribers and people have been asking me questions. What made you decide to go there? A few people have asked you, do you have family there? Do you live there? Have you been there before? No, I have never been to Kentucky before I bought that property. I spent 12 years in the Marine Corps, and all these guys were born overseas, and that was one of the dreams that I had, was to own a nice piece of property. And once again, it had to have certain criteria. So me and my wife searched for property for about 8 years, and we finally came across the property in Kentucky. I'll go over the list of a few of those criteria. I'll give you at least 5 of the major things that I really looked for in the property to make sure that I was going to set myself, my son, and my 3 daughters up for success. And that was my most important goal. So the first criteria was that it had to have the oil, gas, and mineral rights. And a lot of people don't really think about that, but that's one of the important things. Oil, gas, and mineral rights will keep people from coming to you and telling you that they are a portion owner of your rights of your property and they want to take a piece of it. And that's something that I wasn't really willing to start doing. So I didn't want to have to deal with that from the beginning. So I said that's one of the main criteria, was nobody else could own the oil, gas, and mineral rights. Number 2, there had to be water above and below the property. So as you saw, there's a small creek. There's a small creek that runs through the property, and there is water below. There's a big, deep. The neighbor just down the street has a 200-foot well that produces nice, clean water, and that was another criteria. One of the main criteria: water on a homestead, water on a farm, water on a rural property is one of the most advantageous things that you could have. Without water, you can't really do anything. So that was one of the second, not really the second most important, but that was one of the 5 that I'm going to talk about. 3, it had to have at least 20 acres of cleared land. 20 acres doesn't seem like a lot to some of you, and to a few other people, 20 acres seems like a whole lot. And it is quite a bit to take care of, but between me and my dad, and there's another nice gentleman that mows the hay for us, and he uses that to feed cattle, but he also fertilizes, so he gives back a little bit to the things that he takes. 20 acres of cleared land on top of heavily wooded. The 4th thing was it had to have not been timbered in the last 50 years, at least 50 years. And I was really lucky and fortunate with my property. As you saw probably some of the other videos, I got trees big around as I can't even put my arms around them. So you're talking about, 1 to 2 foot. At least a 2 foot circumference on some of these, or diameter. Yeah, 2 foot diameter on some of these trees, and it's amazing how big they are. So the reason that I wanted to have no timber within the last 20 years is because, or 50 years, is because I want to build a timber frame home. I want the pick of the trees before I let anybody else come in there and start cutting trees down. That's really important to me. And then the 5th thing was the zoning restrictions. A lot of times, there was a lot of channels that I've watched that have moved once or twice before they even had a chance to. Don't do that. You're making the dog bark. Don't. The zoning restrictions got to a point where they weren't allowed to do the things that they wanted to do. And also, one of the people that I subscribe to and I watch, he's had problems with zoning requirements, and he's from Ohio. That's where I live right now, and I've decided to move to Kentucky because obviously Ohio zoning rules are not all that great. So I wanted to make sure that there were no permitting requirements. So my property, the only thing that I need to get a permit for is, to get the septic system, and which is really cool. And that's something that I would like, at least the city to come and check out, or the county to come and check out, to make sure people are doing right. If I'm going to be drinking from the water that comes from the land, I want to make sure that the people around me are dumping their stuff correctly and not, filling my water wells up with sewage and things along those lines. So that really doesn't bother me. But there's a lot of things, zoning restrictions were a big deal. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to go to the county and get a building permit and have them come and inspect it and all that other stuff. Now, I don't disagree with inspections. I really do agree with them. When you live in a small suburban city like this, you know, inspections are really important, because if your house burns down because you installed the gas line wrong, you're going to burn your neighbor's house down too. But I'm not in the middle of nowhere. The only thing I'm going to hurt is me and my family, and that's one thing that I am not going to do, is, you know, put my family in danger. So making sure that the zoning requirements were not to where I have to pay and get nickeled and dimed to death every time that I wanted to, you know, build something or put something in. You know, that was really important to me. So those are just 5 of the really most important things to me when it came to where it was that I chose to buy land. And you know, I think those things would be beneficial to you too, if you were to, you know, think about those things when it's time for you to come and buy your land. And you know, another thing, I really wanted to make sure that the place was adequate for my children. That's probably the most number one, you know, hands down the biggest reason. I don't want them to grow up in this crappy town, you know. I want them to grow up to be able to explore and learn and not be afraid to go across the street because they were going to get picked up by whatever, you know, weirdos coming down the road. And no, they're the most important thing to me, and that's why I chose to buy land where it was that I chose to buy land. And if you're interested in where it is I bought land, just send me an email. It's KentuckyHomestead@gmail.com. The same as my spelling of my, you know, my name. Just push everything together. No spaces. KentuckyHomestead@gmail.com. Send me an email. You know, if you want to talk, you know, hit me up on Google Hangouts. You know, I'm always on there, and if I don't see it right away, I'll reply to you. If I get a chance to sit down, I'll chat with you. It's no problem. And you know, I really like to engage and to spread the knowledge that I've learned. And these are a few things that I picked up along the way that I haven't watched on YouTube videos from some of these great subscribers that I already have. If you take the time to research this stuff, you'll find out that these are really important things. Make sure the title's clear. Make sure you have good road access. You know, make sure you have an address. You know, I didn't even have an address, so they went back. I had to call 911 and do all this other stuff to get a. Well, I didn't call 911. I called the 911 facility, and they told me what an address would be for my property. And they actually gave me there was an address a long time ago, and they gave me that old address. So like my address is one number, and the neighbor's house is like a completely different amount of digits. It's pretty cool. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to take off out of here. My kids are climbing the fence over there, and I think they're going to fall and probably kill themselves. So thanks for taking the time to check out this video. If you get a chance, check out some of my other videos. I got some pretty cool things I'm doing, like working on that cabin. I'm rebuilding that. I like to garden a little bit. I got a hops garden going over here and some asparagus and some things like that. It's pretty awesome. So the second thing, rate this. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. You know, it's a way to share the wealth and make sure that I'm doing a good job. If you don't like it, then thumbs down and whatever. And give me a comment below. Give me a comment below if you have questions about the things that I've talked about. Then don't be afraid to ask me. I'm totally happy to answer questions. And like I said, send me an email, whatever it is. If you engage me in the comment section, other people are going to read it too. So if you have a question that you think other people might be thinking about, don't send an email. Send it in my comments, and I'll reply to that. If you have a personal thing, hit me up in the email. All right, thanks a lot. You guys have a great day. What's wrong, baby? You're hurt?
Yeah.
Well, come let me make it better. You don't want me to?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, come here. All better? All right. I love you. You good now?
Yeah.
Okay, go play. What's that? What is that? What's that up there? What's that down there? What's this? Look down. What's this? What is it? Really? I'm looking. What do you see? Okay. That's so cool.
See?
Yeah. It's a tree. Yes, it is. You want to swing with me?
Yeah.
All right. Come on up here. Come on up. I'll swing you. You sit down. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Say bye-bye, you.